jelly on a plate. All the boys in the neighborhood, they know that Kate can shimmy and she does it good. I know that I'm late, but I'll be up for 2 days when I can shimmy like my sister Kate. Shimmy like my sister Kate. Now I wish I could shimmy like my sister Kate. She waffles like jelly on the plate. My mama wanted to know last night. Oh, shoo-boo-be-doo, shoo-boo-be-doo. Oh, so beautiful like a quarrel angel. They know Kate can shimmy and she does it good. I know that I'm late, but I'll be up too deep when I can shimmy like my sister Kate. Not shimmy like my sister Kate. Zabba-ba, zabba-da, shimmy like my sister Kate. Ba-doo-dee.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have a special round of applause, please, for my friend and dance partner, Boglaka Ola. Nothing of what you just saw was choreographed. The dance is called the Lindy Hop. It has its origins in the African-American communities of Harlem, New York, during the era of swing and jazz. And like other partner dances, and like an ordinary conversation too, it's a continuous, improvised, back and forth, moment-by-moment adaptation between two people. I love it. It's so much fun. And soon I'm going to tell you a key reason why. However, while I'm passionate about dance, it is not my profession. By day, I'm a cognitive scientist. Cognitive science is the science of how the mind works, and in particular, I research communication. So I'd like to talk to you today about the diversity and the richness of human communication, and also about what holds it all together. I'm going to talk about how communication makes us human. Let me put it this way. If you're a fish, then swimming is easy, it's natural. You don't even notice it for what it is. If you're a bat, then echolocation is normal. You emit sound waves and you use the echoes that they create to learn about what's physically around you. Now, to a human being like me, like you, that is remarkable. It's amazing. To a bat, ordinary, every day. Communication is like this for humans. And I'm going to get precise about that very soon. But first, I want to give you a quotation. It's from a famous American painter, Edward Hopper, middle of the 20th century realist painter. This is probably his most famous painting. It's called Nighthawks, and it's on public display in the Art Institute of Chicago. And the themes of Nighthawks are themes that recur throughout Hopper's work. Words that people use to describe it are words like melancholy, solitude, stoicism, regret. Hopper was once asked about these themes and more generally about what his paintings mean. His reply, "If I could say it in words, there'd be no reason to paint. If I could say it in words, there'd be no reason to paint." I think that's a feeling we can all relate to, in a way. You can ask me to put it in words, but I'm expressing myself this way because this is the best way to express the things I want to express. Now, we can't all paint like Hopper can, but we can talk, we can point, we can shrug, we can dance, we can use a little movement of the head to remind our friend quickly and efficiently about that conversation we had last week. Or the very same movement could be used for very different ends. You could use it to order an assassination. You could start a war. Some people leave their dirty laundry in the middle of the living room as a way to remind their partner to do the housework. We can wink as a way to share a joke, to communicate in secret. Human communication is incredibly diverse. It's varied, it's flexible, it's rich. And we're also pretty good at getting it right, at finding the right means for the right moment. We're not perfect, of course. Communication is imperfect. But keep the big picture in mind. It's not like we wink at someone and then accidentally start a war. That is not what happens. There's misunderstandings at the edges, but given how varied human communication is, it's kind of remarkable how often we get it right or close enough. It's pretty special. It's like echolocation in bats. Okay, so what holds it all together? How does it work? Communication is all about intentions. And the key point is that we don't just have intent, we reveal our intentions. Now, I know that point is a little bit abstract, so I'm going to elaborate now with a little toy example. Suppose that I want you to know that these berries here are edible and tasty. Now, one way I can do that is just this. I can just eat them. The information is there, if you want it, that they are edible, that I like them. Another way I can try and meet my goals is to not eat the berries at all, but instead I could mime eating them, perhaps in a slightly exaggerated way and with my behavior directed towards you. It's a slightly comic exaggeration, I know, but it makes the point. Notice the difference. In the first case, there was information there that the berries are edible and tasty and I like them, but I did not communicate with you. In the second case, no evidence that the berries are tasty. I did not eat them. What there was evidence of are my intentions. I showed you that I want you to believe that the berries are edible. You don't have to believe that, of course. That is up to you. Maybe I'm trying to trick you. Maybe they're poisonous. The point is, I showed you what I want to do to your mind. And that's what communication is about. Human communication is special because it has these extra layers of information. We don't just provide evidence of the topic itself, of the berries or whatever else. We provide evidence of our goals in interaction. This idea has its roots in the philosophy of language, and it's now a key idea in modern cognitive science. Let me finish by broadening out to the bigger picture, which is that this way of communicating has enormous riches for us as a species. And that's because it frees us. It frees us from the here and the now. Think about it. If I have to provide evidence of the topic itself, the berries, whatever, well, that's very constraining. It means I can only communicate about that topic when I have it here. If, on the other hand, I have to provide evidence of my intentions, well, they are always here, and they can be about anything at all. It's hugely powerful. It allows us to communicate about anything, the flow of information easily between us. And it happens on a grand scale too. This is what facilitates the invention of complex technologies, the building of social institutions, the creation of new cultural practices. It's also fun too. It's very rewarding. We all like doing it. In fact, it's so rewarding to do this, expressing and recognizing intentions, that we sometimes invent cultural practices that are, in a way, just communication. That's what partnered dance is all about. It's two bodies, just like in a conversation, simultaneously, continuously expressing and recognizing their intentions towards one another. It's a cultural thing, dance. It's a cultural practice, but it's one that exploits and celebrates something that is deeply biological and distinctly human: communication.